the mentorship coordinator. Today is the day set of the mentorship sessions, and I actually like the numbers I'm seeing today. A lot of you came, and those of you who came yesterday, I'm sure you spread the word. That's why today we have these numbers. In fact, clap for yourself for coming in your numbers. The STEM Festival is proudly sponsored by Truster AI, Pay Money Transfer, GTP, and YFM. And of course, this is a Primetime production. How many of you are excited to be here? Oh, okay, I love that. So for today's mentorship sessions, we're going to learn something very exciting. How many of you know about AI or have heard anything about AI? At least those who came yesterday, you heard about AI. So I need to see your hands up as well. Okay. So you know about artificial intelligence. I know some of you have used it. Those of you who have smartphones, when you use WhatsApp, it even shows the Meta AI, right? Okay. So today, for our mentorship sessions, we have William Owusu. He is a software engineer with extensive experience in fintech, payments, and digital innovation, with a career built on designing and scaling secure financial systems that handle millions of transactions. He brings a unique perspective on how technology can transform lives and create opportunities. He is going to be speaking on the theme, Tech in Our Hands, Making the Most of Digital Tools, including AI. So, with a big round of applause, shall we welcome William Owusu as he takes us through. Hello, William. You're welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. A good day. My name is William Owusu, and I think, as Vanessa rightly said, I'm a software engineer, and then I work in fintech. I don't know, how many of you know what a fintech is? Fintech. So finance and technology. So I work in a fintech, and primarily my job is to help people move funds from one point to another. So Pay Money Transfer, we help people move funds from the USA, UK, Canada, down to Ghana. I'm sure that some of you have used, mobile payments before. Everyone has used mobile before, I'm sure. Everyone has mobile before, yes. So it's someone like me who built the system that will allow your funds to be able to move. All right, so before I think we start fully, I want to make sure that everyone is tech aware. How many of you have used any kind of tech tool, to work on something before? Be it a homework, a presentation, whatever it may be. So only one person is tech aware here. So basically everyone. Okay, so when I start using the IT jargons, everyone will be okay. You'll be okay. Okay, very good. All right, so let me just start with a little bit of a background. The house I grew up in, right? I didn't really grow up in a house where we had a lot of tech. Okay, people grow up in houses where if someone does, the TV comes on. You have to walk to the TV and punch this one for it to come on, right? But one thing I could say about my family is that my family was one that always pushed curiosity. Okay, they would always want me to ask why something works. I know some parents find it annoying. Okay, when you are younger, you ask your mother, why does? You say, oh, keep quiet. But for me, they kept on, answering most of my questions. I'll say that what got me interested in tech, or in, let me say, engineering in general, was when they brought the first computer to the house. I remember it very well. It's a Compaq. I don't think you know. Do you know what the Compaq is? Sure, most of you know HP, Dell. Those days there was something called Compaq. was Etikopo, seeing the one that their back is like that, yeah. So, I mean, I was a young boy, DHS, primary. When they brought the machine, first thing I told them to do was that they should hurry up and load the games on it. I'm not coming to you to learn. In fact, the first thing they put on it was Encarta. It was a learning thing, but I wanted to play Mortal Kombat, to play PES, to play FIFA. I didn't care about, the rest of the things that was on the computer. And so they put the games on it, they put the learning things on it. If I'm playing the Mortal Kombat and my mom comes in, then I switch tabs. Like, oh, you're learning it? Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm trying. When she goes back, then Scorpion. So I remember using it for a while. Then I wanted to access the internet at that time on the computer. And I remember, I would say that was really my first encounter with trying to solve a problem that a computer had. I wanted to access the internet because I wanted to go online and, do one or two things. I went online. They said, you're not connected to the internet. Then I saw something. They said, dial up something. Then there's no network. So I'm sure most of us here, at the point in time, with your phones, you've not had data before, but you have tried to find a way to be able to access the internet without buying a bundle. Because you don't have money, so you want to find some Kululu way. They introduce you to, so use a VPN, something. That's what I was trying to do at that time. So that was my first, instance of trying to solve something with a computer. And that's what actually got me into computers. So after a while, I remember, in fact, that day they beat me when that happened. The computer stopped coming. So I went to take a screwdriver. And I opened the back of the computer to find out what exactly was wrong with it. In fact, it was the system unit itself. I opened the back. Now, when I opened the back, I didn't find out what the issue was because I'm not a repairer. And at the end of the day, I couldn't close it back. So when my parents came, the system unit was on the floor like a puzzle. And then I was standing there. So what did you do? I said, I was trying to fix it. I remember that day they beat me. They beat me. But that got me interested in, engineering, because I did computer engineering in KNUST, right? So it got me interested in anything with a wire. Once it's a wire and it can light up and I can damage it and repair it, I'm interested. I'm okay. So that actually got me into, building things, trying to fix things and all that. So that's what even led me to do computer engineering in school, because I just wanted to know how do things work generally. Because like I said, I was born in a family where they always want you to ask questions. So I wanted to know, how does a microwave work? What makes a microwave work? How does an air conditioner work? How does a car work? Okay, I kept on asking myself, how? And that got me to where I am right now. So present day, like I said, I work in a fintech. I'm a software engineer in fintech. Now, in a fintech, the work is very, delicate, a bit high pressure, but it's very, very delicate. Because if someone, all of us here, right, let's say that everyone here, all our parents are in the US, and they want to pay your school fees. And then they've come around, they are sacking people for school fees. I know some of you, you've paid, but still you want to go. But let's say they are sacking everyone for school fees. And then maybe you call your dad, oh, Dad, can you please send me money? And then your dad sends the money, and then it takes 15 days to get to you. It means that all the time that you could have spent in class, you spent at home. Okay, let's even move away from school. It could be a medical situation. That money needs to move from where? From maybe the US or the UK to what? To Ghana, to be able to help grandma, to be able to help granddad, to be able to pay for a certain operation. So the work that I do is very, 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 very delicate. So yeah, no pressure. If you enter fintech, no pressure, don't worry. Now, we live in an age, okay, where previously, when it was my time, and I wanted to fix something, I had to do try and error. Okay, the try and error tool is not every time that the error you can try again. If you break something and then it doesn't come on, that is the end. Okay, but now we live in an age where we have artificial intelligence to be able to help us to do a lot of the things that we want to do, a lot of the things that we want to see. Okay, so now you can easily ask how or why. Why does this work? Why is this? I don't know how. Do any of how many of you do science over here? Okay, most of you. Okay, why is the sky blue? Let me pick. You raise your hand, right? Who raised your hand? Oh, don't. Why? Why is the sky blue? Why is the sky blue? Why this? You raise your hand, right? Why is the sky blue? You don't know. Okay. How does a microwave work? Hey, no. That's the question I'm asking now. How does a microwave work? The sky blue. Okay. Mike.
The molecules of the sky.
Hey, I'm not asking for science and math quiz answer. You give me normal.
So the sky accepts all colors and then rejects the color blue, which makes it look like blue in our eyes.
Okay, so you know. Okay, so going to the science and math quiz more for me. You know about wavelength, right?
Yeah.
You know. So which color is the shortest wavelength?
I don't.
Anyone? Which color is the shortest wavelength? Say blue. Okay. So we have red and then blue. Okay. So red has the shortest wavelength, blue has the longest wavelength. That's how come we see. So per the rejection, right? That's how come we see it as blue. Because by the time it gets here, it has lost all the other colors, right? That's how you see it as blue. Okay, all right, good. So this question that I asked, okay, it presupposes that you've either looked in your textbook and you know what I'm talking about, or you've never really asked yourself the question why the sky is blue, or even how your microwave works, or even how the fan works. All you know is that when you go and get there, no, correct. Is it on? Yes, it's on. That's all, right? But you are fortunate enough to live in an age where every single question that you have can easily be answered in any format that you want. Okay? Very, very easily answered in any format that you want. When I was younger, okay, the first piece of technology that made me say, wow, was a computer. Right? Now I'm a bit older. The one that made me say, wow, is actually what? AI. That's what made me just say, wow, like, this is amazing, okay? What other piece of technology has made you say wow before? Or no technology has made you say wow before? No technology. Virtual reality. Virtual reality. Fantastic. Virtual reality. Okay, anyone from this side? Microchips. Fantastic. Anyone else? Production of robots and androids. Okay, so those are technologies that made you say wow before. Now with the wow, have you ever asked yourself, maybe, how does virtual reality work? Have you ever asked before? You've asked before. Okay, how did you get the answer? Is it? You haven't gotten an answer yet. Okay, but did you attempt to ask AI in any of your, no, robotics? You said it on Google, and then you got something. Okay, all right. So we realize that we're in an age where your curiosity can be what? Can be fed. You can actually ask your questions and get answers. Those days, me, my father, he worked in finance. It is not he that has come to tell me that how does a radio work. Me, I'm come to how does a radio work? What am I expecting him to tell me? He knows that when you turn it on, it comes on. He doesn't know the rest. Okay, you're going to ask your mother that, Mommy, please, the microwave, how does it work? She knows that when you put the food in there and put it on 2 minutes, no, when you come back, they are not being. Okay, so it was difficult at that time to find what answers to the questions that we have. But right now, in the work that I do in software engineering, okay, when I started, we didn't have AI. In fact, those of you who have started programming here, maybe know of Stack Overflow. And how many of you have heard of Stack Overflow before? Those of you who have attempted, you've had very good. You've heard of it before too. Okay. So those days, if you have a problem, you go to Google, you search and get Stack Overflow, and you have to pray to God that someone has had the same issue before and has written an answer. Because if you search and then your question is the first question ever asked in the history of IT, it means that error is going to be there till thy kingdom come. Okay, and so it was very difficult at that time. But that time, you go to Stack Overflow, someone has asked, you go through like 200 different answers. Then you come to an answer that finally works for you. But right now, in the work that I do, when I meet a problem, okay, because of experience, I'm able to solve most of them. But some that I haven't met before, I first go to Google. I go and search. Has anyone else had this issue before? Okay, someone has had it before. How did they solve it? Then I see how they solved it. Then I go to maybe a ChatGPT or a Claude or a Gemini. Okay, and then I ask them, I detail my problem. And I'm saying that I was doing so and so and so and so, and then I faced this. So how do I resolve it? Then I look at what it says. And then I try to implement it. Okay, so in the work that I do right now, AI is actually a big part of what I do now. I can't take it out. Right now, if I tell myself that, I won't use AI, it means I'm going to suffer. Other developers, will go ahead of you, and then you are still there trying to figure out the issue. So AI is now a tool. Okay, the key word here is tool. AI isn't really replacing the things that we do now. Okay, AI is just a tool. Just like the way that someone mentioned that he Googled about robotics and then androids, is the same way that you can also go to ChatGPT or go to a Gemini and then ask a question and then get an answer of how the thing works. All right. So in my field, let me say in technology in general, there are a lot of skills that you need sometimes to be able to, let me say, work effectively. Okay, the first one is a very curious mind. If you want to do software engineering, you have to be very, very, very curious. You have to be someone who wants to know why things work. Because trust me, those of you who have programmed, you've programmed before, right? Have you faced errors before? How did it make you feel? Bad, terrible. Give up. There are some days you enter and then you're all smiles, like you're happy. You've come today, then you meet your first error. Then meet your second error. Now your day is a terrible day. Okay, but if you have a curious mind, you always want to know why, it becomes easy for you. You have to have a problem-solving attitude. Try to solve problems. You are someone who likes to solve problems. Okay, you also need to be someone who is very persistent. Persistence is actually key. Persistence is very, very, very key in software engineering. If you're an engineer who's not persistent, like they said, give up. You meet your first error, no, you're like, okay, it's over. Then you close your laptop. Okay, I don't think that the money that you see the Zuckerbergs and the Steve Wozniaks and other things get, I don't think you would get any close to it. I'm sure most of you know software engineering as a very, very, money. So if your first error, you are working on something and then you close your laptop, the money, I don't know how you are going to get it. Okay, so you need to be very, very persistent. You also need to be very, very analytical. Okay, you need to be someone who is able to look at things and then start assuming how they work. Okay, just start assuming how they work. Just wrap your mind around it. How many of you actually know how a fan works? How many actually? Okay, good. So this is actually good because I'm going to ask someone how a fan works just by observation. When you look at it, how do you think it works? Okay. How do you think a fan works? Just by looking at it, how do you think it works? Okay.
So the fan works. So it's like there are switch connected to it.
Very good. Okay.
So when you switch it to one, then electricity flows. Then the blade starts spinning. When you want to increase it, then you also increase the number of bits.
Very good. Very good. I like that. It's a very, very good start. Let's clap for him. That's a very good start. Okay. There's a formation to the clapping. Do it again. Let me see. Interesting. Okay, let's go to how do you think a fan works? You can build on his answer.
I think it's connected to a motor.
A motor, fantastic.
The motor is connected to electricity. Connected to a switch. So when you turn the switch on, then it activates the motor.
The motor, yes. And then the motor moves the blades. Let's clap for him. Brilliant answer. Okay, so when I asked you, most of you said you didn't know how a fan worked. But based on the answer that they've given, on what they've seen, right now, they've been able to what? Deduce how a fan works. I'm sure in science, your first year, they were telling you about the scientific method. Okay, I'm sure most of you know the scientific method. That's what the work I do, that's literally what you are doing. Okay, he looked at it, he said that there is a switch, and then when you switch it on, electricity moves to it, and then it does what? It moves the blades. Okay, then he also built on that and said that, okay, so aside just, the blades may not necessarily move on their own. There may be a motor connected to it. So if you increase the fan on one, more flow of electricity, meaning that the motor spins faster, meaning that the blades move faster, what's bringing more air. And that's how a fan works. It's as simple as that. Now, just by looking at it and then thinking about it, you could do what? You could actually get an answer. And that's where even AI may even help in this situation. You can tell AI how you think a fan works and ask it to do what? To confirm or what? Refine your answer for you. So you could go to ChatGPT and say that, I want to know how a fan works, but I want you to tell me whether I'm on the right path or not. I believe that when you switch a fan on, the electricity moves to the fan and then the blade starts moving. Am I on the right track? You get ChatGPT maybe telling you that, yeah, you're probably on the right track, but there seems to be more as to how a fan works. Would you like me to tell you? Then you tell it, oh, man, okay, you know what, hold on. I know some of you even tell it to hold on. Tell it to write everything for you, like the homework. Yes, write it for me. But you can tell it to hold on, and you can tell it that, okay, so what I think that something makes the blade, move. What exactly makes the blade move? Then they could tell you that it's a motor, right? Now you see, right now we are building. Right now we've gotten to a motor. Now you can ask yourself, how exactly does a motor work? How exactly does a motor work? At this stage, I don't think many of you know how a motor may work. But that could be something that you could ask, and that could be knowledge that words. Oh, you are even, Oh, yeah, sharp, Let them give you. Okay.
Just a little knowledge I have about how motor works. So, it's a magnetic field around the electric field, and PN, like north and south. Yeah, so when the electric charges passes through it makes it rotate because of the fields, like increases the density something
of the
field. So it makes it rotate.
Yes.
So you can increase the speed with a variable resistor or a rheostat.
Exactly.
So that, you connect the fans and circulate and the air comes.
Let's clap for him. Next year, the science and math quiz is coming home. It's coming home. It's great. It's possible. All right. So what he actually said is basically how it works. It's electromagnetism. at its core. That's how the motor works. It's just electromagnetism. Okay. I did computer engineering, so I kind of have an idea of anything electronics, all the way up to the software side of things. Okay. But if you didn't know, that's actually how you start. So you get to the motor. How exactly does a motor work? ChatGPT may tell you, like you said, oh, real start, what? Maybe you can even know what the real start is. You know what the variable resistor is? Then you tell it, okay, you know what? Break it down for me. Maybe explain it to me like I'm 10. Okay, just explain to me like I'm 10 years old. How would a 10-year-old understand how this works? And that's actually how we learn. We learn from the what? From the known to the unknown. That's how we learn. You start from somewhere and then you build up to somewhere. Okay, all the things that you are learning now, for now it may seem to you that, oh, I may not really use it anywhere. This thing is not, that's the same thing I said when I was in school. Okay, that time when we were doing a lot of physics, I kept on saying, physics, give me the machine and let me, At the end of the day, I went to the university, computer engineering, first year, I think first semester. There was a course called Basic Mechanics. It is not basic. It's just a name. It's called Basic Mechanics. But it literally built on what we had learned on everything concerning Newton's law. Right? Now, if you don't take what you are doing here too serious, and then get there, and then see the basic mechanics, you are just going to look at it like it's a totally new topic that you've seen. You even ask, who is Newton? I've never seen this in my life. Okay, what is kinetic energy? What is potential energy? Say, please, I won't do it again. Okay, but you build from somewhere to get somewhere. And most of the things that you are learning now, that's literally what you are going to take there. Those of you who do anything engineering, whether you do computer engineering, aerospace, whatever it is, okay, or anything concerning building something, the things you are learning here, regression analysis, Spearman's rank constant, all those things are things that you meet there again, right? Now, you'll be here and you think that it's too difficult, but that is why, like I said, you live in an age where things can be broken down into very, 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 very simple formats for you, okay? How many of you have even asked yourself how we get the area of a triangle before? The area of a triangle, how the formula came about. Hey, Charlie, NSMQE there, next year, it's really coming home, Say something.
All right, so with triangle, during the ancient times, the philosophers were working on construction. Then he was asking himself that what shape would be perfect for learning, and they normally use it to understand the universe. So they use the three lines to understand the universe. Mm-hmm. So over there, whilst he was learning, then they started discovering the area of a triangle, and they also started discovering more about nature. So actually, a triangle is used to learn about nature. That's how come we started learning the area of a triangle and how a triangle works. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's clap for him. That was good. All right, good. So that's basically what the history of how, we got the area of a triangle. But if you look at a triangle very well, you realize that a triangle is just, half of a rectangle if you cut it diagonally, literally. If you have a rectangle and then you cut it diagonally, you get a triangle. Okay, what's the area of a rectangle? Length times breadth. Okay, so if we cut it diagonally, that's what? Half. Half of what? A base times a height. That's all. Okay, so even it gets to a point where you don't even have to chew the things in your head because you understand where it's coming from. Okay, you understand the core fundamental of what you are learning, and that's why in this day and age, even as you are, that's why I feel like AI is one of the best tools you have at your disposal now. Okay, with AI, right now, you can't tell me that if they ask you, oh, what is this? You find it difficult to answer. Because every question that you have, you can directly move it to what? To AI. Okay, so even in my field, like I said, anything that you have to analyze, anything that you have to take a look at, anything that you have to deduce, form your hypothesis, test it. Okay, all those things that you learn in science, that's literally what you'll be carrying with you. And with AI, it makes it easy for you to go through the entire scientific process. All right, so let's say in my field, some of the career paths that you could have can be something like you can be a data analyst, you can be a software engineer, you can be an electrical engineer. That one doesn't mean that you're a repairer. I always say it. Electrical engineering doesn't mean you're a repairer. Actually, you are those that build systems that carry like kilovolts of electricity to every single home in the country. You are building things like that. Okay, you can be in cybersecurity. Okay, those of you like seeing the way that you see developers, they wear the hoodie, then they sit behind the cybersecurity, but that's not how it is in real life. No one sits with the hoodie. Ghana is too hot for hoodie and laptop. Okay, right? Cybersecurity, you can do network engineering. Network engineering, that's basically what MTN does. That's why I keep on saying that you should be curious, because for any career path that you want to be in, I believe that it needs to be a career that you are curious about, that you've asked yourself questions about. So maybe if you want to be a network engineer, just ask yourself, have I ever asked how I'm able to sit here, make a phone call, and then it's able to get to someone in a totally different region in the country? Okay, have you ever asked yourself that question? If you want to be a network engineer, okay, have you ever asked yourself that question, right? The answer to it is also very simple. Like I said, if you ask AI, and then maybe a ChatGPT and say that, oh, explain to me like I'm 10, how am I able to call someone if I'm here and the person is in another region? It will tell you that, oh, it's simple. So see it as when you are placing the call, okay, the call is just going towards one receiver over there. The receiver is there. That receiver connects to what? Another receiver, to another receiver, to another receiver, to another receiver, to another receiver, till it gets to where? The person that you are calling. Okay, and when it gets to the person you are calling, it rings, and that's it. And all this happens literally at the speed of sound. As soon as you tap, the receiver gets it, and then it knows where it's going to. Okay, that's why sometimes, if you realize, I'm sure maybe they've asked sometime in NSMQ before that, why is it that when you're in a moving vehicle and then you're on the phone, it breaks more than if you are standing? Because what happens is that when you are in a moving vehicle and then you're on the phone, your phone is attempting to connect to one receiver after another. It's just hopping. It keeps on hopping. So it's like it's not getting a stable enough connection with the receiver to do what? To transmit your voice to the person. Next year, are you standing? If you don't stand there, your leg is paining you. Okay, so you need to be someone who is curious about where you want to go. Maybe you want to be a mathematician generally. You enjoy maths. Okay, you are someone who just enjoys math. When I was in school, I went to St. Peter's Senior High School. Okay, the class I was in, there was a guy who he didn't like biology, he didn't like chemistry, he didn't even like physics. What he wanted was core maths and e-maths. And one and all pay. He doesn't want any extra thing. Okay, and that guy understood maths to like a very fundamental level, to the point where he never had formulas in his head. That thing where before you're going to write the paper, you are like, so x squared divided by Charlie. Oh, what be the almighty formula? It be minus b, your plus or minus raised to the power. It be cube or it be square. honestly, he never really kept those things in his head. And it made me appreciate what he was doing, because I felt like this guy really understands the core of what he's looking at. Okay, he doesn't have to chew a formula in his head. Me, I was chewing formulas. Me, I was chewing, when you can write into my notebook from A to Z. It is here. If you talk to me, I've lost like 3 formulas. Okay, but he understood it. So there was never really an exam where some of us, when we start exam, then you open to the back, start writing everything at the back, because when they say start work, you forget. So you write all the formula, but he never wrote anything because he understood what he was looking at. He understood what a quadratic actually meant. Okay, how many of you are in the 2nd or 3rd year? Okay, so in your maths, I'm sure your core math or something, you've seen how a quadratic looks like on a graph. Okay, you've seen this one before. Okay, he understood. He actually understood what it meant. Okay, so it's easy for him to get it, and he asked a lot of questions concerning it. He was those type of people that when commas and emas class comes, then we'll go and tell him that you today we beg. Don't ask questions. You see, he's those people who ask the teacher so many questions. There's like we are not closing. Then that time too, the canteen is open. Let us go. Those kind of questions that even the teacher himself has to like pause and then like think about it. Then you say, I'm giving it to you as homework. Then everyone says, oh yeah. That's how he was, and that's how I feel like every one of us should be. We need to be curious about the things that we are passionate about. Okay, you could even be passionate about football, and right now there's a lot of technology in football. Okay, there's a lot of technology. Even from the clothes you wear, it's engineered to make sure that you don't sweat too much to get tired. Okay, the boots are engineered to do what? To make you run faster. Okay, there's even a lot of data analysis happening that if you are, I think some of you, those who follow football, you know of the expected goal attributes, right? If he was in this place, it means there's 0.3 chance of scoring, 0.2, 0. All those things are what? Data analysis. If your regression analysis and your Spearman is not good, I don't know how you're going to analyze it. Football, we don't use our eyes to say that if you stand here, you score. Okay, it's all analysis. It's all what? Data that they are using. And to be able to, like I said, to be able to get to where you are going to, you have to do what? You have to be curious. You have to ask yourself the questions. Ask yourself, how does this work? How do I get this to work in a different way? Okay, have you ever even asked yourself that if the fan moves like this, can I make it move like this? Then you are saying, hey, but like you need to have that mind that if something works in a clockwise way, can I make it work anti-clockwise? Or what even makes it move in this way? Can I take it back? Okay, you want to say something? Okay, let's pass it to.
So at home, I turn the fan anti-clockwise and I turn the switch on. But then turned in a clockwise way. So I went on the internet, went to YouTube. Then this guy made an H bridge using diodes and placed the fan in the center. Then when he clicks one of the diodes, it goes in the anti-clockwise direction. But then when he clicks another one at the other side of the breadboard, then it becomes clockwise. So then I saw that he connected some wires and programmed it so that if you press this diode, then it will go anti-clockwise. Then if you press the other diode, it will go clockwise.
Okay, thank you. Let's clap for him. Okay, thank you. So that's actually something that I really admire in what he just did. Okay, curiosity. Okay, he said he turned the fan anti-clockwise, turned it on, and then the fan forced itself back to clockwise. So he wanted to understand how exactly did this happen, and then he went online, saw someone with a breadboard, connect something, it went clockwise. Disconnect something and do something, it went anti-clockwise. So that will even make you ask yourself, what exactly is he turning and is he doing that is making this thing move in an opposite direction? And that's how you feed your curiosity. That's how whatever career path you decide to take, that's how you excel in it. Okay? Those who succeed in life are those who always ask questions about what they are seeing and what they are facing. Those are the ones who succeed. Do you ask yourself the hard questions? Do you ask yourself questions that make you yourself even think? Questions that don't make you sleep? Questions that you think that they've never even been asked before? Do you ask yourself those kind of questions? Do you ask yourself the hard questions? Those are the ones who succeed. Those are the ones who do excellently. Okay? And like I said, in this day and age of AI, there is no question. I don't think anyone here has asked the question that ChatGPT or Gemini said that this one day I can't answer it for you. Hey, you've asked the question like that. What question was that? They said the model is not up to date yet. I think it ended at 2024, right, or 2023. So it means that what? But it means that when they update it, it will have your answer for you. Okay. So you've also asked the question I wasn't able to answer before. What questions are people asking?
I asked it whether it can count from 1 to 1 million. It says
Aha. So then you should have gone a bit further. So you could have asked it. Why did you say no? No. It's not the answer. You asked it why it didn't count from. It should count from 1 to 1 million, and it said it can't do it. Did you ask it why it can't do it? Aha. Curiosity. Okay. If you had further asked, it would have told you that for every question that you ask any AI model, there is a set number of what they call tokens that it uses. So for every answer, that's why sometimes if you can paste something in ChatGPT, those who will paste your entire homework, you can paste it and then ChatGPT will tell you that it is too long. Shorten it. I mean, when I started, I was pasting everything. Paste like 5,000 words, then to be like, it is too long. Or sometimes I'll paste something that demands an answer so long that it will type it will get to a point, and it will just say that error. I was like, why isn't it able to give me the full thing? Then it explained to me. Okay, so I even learned how ChatGPT works. I'm not an AI engineer, but I know how it works. It told me that for every question that I ask, there's a set number of tokens that is able to use for a certain chat session. Once it exceeds that particular chat session, it cannot keep what I have asked in memory because it's also using its own hard drive, microchips, and everything. Okay, it cannot keep it in memory, so it has to do what? It has to shorten it. So either it will outright reject my question, or it will start and stop halfway, and it will continue. And that's what made me learn about what? Tokens. That even if I type, when I type a very long this one, that actually uses up what we call tokens. Those of you who abuse ChatGPT can use it, and those days they will tell you that you have reached your limit. Come back tomorrow, 5 a.m. Right? I come back in 4 days. Exactly. Abusing the thing. Okay, come back in 4 days. Come back in this. Right? So you realize that that's the key thing I spoke about, that persistence and curiosity. When you face a stumbling block, did you ask, why can't you give me an answer? Did you ask the why? Why can't you give me an answer? Because I don't understand. That is what I'm using you for, to give me answers. And you are telling me that you can't give me an answer. Why? You ask, and then it tells you, oh, this and this and this and this, what? These are my limitations. Then you learn to do what? To play in what? ChatGPT's limitations, because you've learned. Okay? Intelligence is just what? Knowledge and experience. That's all. That's intelligence. Intelligence is knowledge and experience. So if right now I've come to GPT and they're able to tell me, I have the knowledge now that I need a certain number of tokens, and I've experienced it before. If someone should come to me and tell me that, Charlie, when I was doing the ChatGPT, they stopped me. Don't you think I can give them an answer? Because I have knowledge. and have experience. And that's what? Intelligence. Basically. Okay, so right now as we are able to get the knowledge using what? AI. The knowledge is there, it's open for you. You're able to get the knowledge. And the more you gain knowledge, the more you try, the more you gain what? Experience. And when you combine the two is what? Intelligence. So sometimes the world that we live in, you may think that, oh, someone is more intelligent than me. The only thing is that they just started gaining knowledge at a very young age and experience at a very young age. Right? It's like someone learning how to play the piano. They started playing when they were like 4. And then maybe they are now 16. You started playing when you were 12. You don't expect to have the same level of skill as someone who started playing at 4 and is now 16, and he started at 12 and you are now 16. He has more knowledge, he has more experience. Okay, and that's what will make them so good. And now it applies to us. Okay, like I said, those days when I opened my Atake physics, killer. Oh, it was easy. When you open it and then you see the thing there is nothing like, ChatGPT, explain why light is able to break into different colors through a prism, like I'm 10 years. There's nothing like that too. That one, when as soon as you open Atake, they'll tell you that when the light passes through the prism, there's an incident ray, and it goes there and it bounces off them, and the light just spreads into 8. I'm like, nah, this one day, where exactly am I? That's how come you open a textbook, you look at it and you're like, why cry? I can't say many science. Then you close it again. Okay. Same thing with maths. Okay, those days, when you open your book and you see the trigonometry inside, the unimane sokatwa, they are cannot there. You don't know anything about it. All you know is sokatwa. The rest there. If someone comes and they're like, Charlie, so this one, when they said the cos of 60 divided by this, no, how can we, if we're using a differentiation, how can we? You look at the person, you're like, this one they didn't teach us. This one they didn't teach us. Okay. But right now, okay, so I'm saying, so those days, there was nothing like that. Those days for me was, you open and you try till you understand. If you don't understand, chew the example in your head, so that when they ask a question, the numbers look similar. Afar. Okay, but right now, you live in an age where even if you see a question, you can ask a Gemini, you can ask a ChatGPT, you can ask it to do what? To break it down for you, like literally solve this problem and give me like detail how you came across this particular answer, this particular solution. Okay, even the almighty formula. Okay, do you know how the almighty formula, they got the almighty formula? Some of you know, right? And some of the teachers have actually taken their time to break it down for you and explain. Meaning that it came from somewhere. Okay? Someone didn't just sit down and say minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over the square root of 2. They know. It came from somewhere. It came from a certain level to a certain level. And once you get to understand that, right, that's what puts you ahead or puts you above others. Once you understand the fundamental of whatever you are learning, whatever you are seeing, whatever you are studying, that's what puts you ahead of the curve. Okay, chewing formulas, how do I say it? Principles, and all those things, it doesn't actually help. Okay, those who do chemistry, you know Avogadro's constants, right? Avogadro's constants. Okay, do you know how it was? How some of you don't even care. They said someone called Avogadro did something and then there was a constant. That is the end. Okay, even the speed of light. Have you asked yourself, how did they measure the speed of light? Okay, most of us even know, those who do science, even those who don't even do science, I'm sorry you've seen it in different series, Big Bang Theory and all those things, E equals mc squared. Okay, E equals mc squared. How exactly did Einstein get that particular formula to tell me that energy is equal to what? Mass times what? The speed of light squared. How did he get it? Because if that's the case, then same me I can create my own formula. D equals 4b minus 3q. If you like, go and try it. Okay, so you ask yourself those questions, and then what? You understand. Okay, that's where it starts from, understanding. Same thing happened to me with when I started learning how to program. In fact, I wanted to do things concerning cybersecurity. Okay, then later I pivoted into the software engineering side of things. When I started, it was hard. Like, it was hard. That kind of hard where you can start learning something at in the morning, maybe 7, and all the way up to 6, you are still on the first page of the book, where you were not. That it was hard for me. Like, it was really, really hard because I didn't understand what exactly I was looking at. Okay, these days it's a bit easy for most of us because now they won't go on like, oh, me, I'm a programmer, HTML, do something. Oh, it has displayed on the screen, yeah. But those days, when I was learning, it was what? PHP. It was something. So it was hard. It was very, very hard for me. But I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to stop. Okay, because I felt that this is something that I'm interested in. I'm an engineer at heart. In fact, I like it when I get problems. I like problems because it means I want to solve something. I want to solve something and say that I have solved it. Okay, so it was hard for me. Started, failed. Okay, there were nights where my heart was breaking. I was like, why didn't I just go and learn economics or say economics there? And it was simple. Now I just have to choose one or two things, do one or two things. And plus, I like maths too. So I was like, Nanka accounts and crab before. And they said numbers, keke. Just combine numbers. But this one that you sit behind your computer, and then the computer is telling you that today I'm not going to work. When you type something that worked yesterday, today you type the same thing, the computer said error. So it was hard. It was also hard for me. But I kept on persisting, trying questions. Then one day, just like that, it was like a click, just like that. It's like the world suddenly seemed like there were birds in the air, butterflies, Suddenly, it just made sense. Like, it made sense. Like, I could understand what I was doing. A good example I'll give you for what I experienced was those of you who maybe do some maths. Okay, when you start an exam, maybe e-maths or core maths. Okay, when you start and they are like, question 1 is compulsory, but choose any other 2. You look at question 1 and you're like, hi. This one there. Then you're going to look at the any other 2 and you're like, hey. Okay, but then any other 2, you start with a simple one. You start solving. Then before you realize it, you've solved one question, gone. Next question, solved. Question 1, you've come to solve. You've even solved an extra one for them. That's how it is. When you get into that flow, when you get into that level of understanding, right? Because you started from what? The known to the unknown. You solved the one that was easy for you first. But then that was what you needed, a start. Okay, a start. And once you got that start, it was simple. Just solved. You finished, cried. Someone was even tapping at the back that question 1, what is it? We take my paper. Solve. Senior man. Okay, so that's how I think that you should be. Be curious, be persistent, always try to ask the hard questions. And always have grit. Okay, push through. Okay, and at the end of the day, what you need to realize is that AI is not here to replace the God-given brain in your head. Some of you that when they ask you questions, when they ask, copy and paste. Get your answer. When you get the answer to you, go and copy and then paste. You don't even remove the formatting inside. Leave it like that. Okay. It's not here to replace your brain. It's It's a tool. Just like a hammer is a tool in the hands of a carpenter, just like a pen is a tool in the hands of a writer, just like what a pistol and a mortar is a tool in the hands of someone in a chop bar. Okay, that is what AI is. It's a tool, and it's a tool to help you what? Gain intelligence. Like I said, intelligence is what? Knowledge and experience. So once again, or I'll just tell you or advise you here that in whatever you are doing, be curious, be persistent, and never forget that intelligence is knowledge and what? Experience. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you can do better. Did you enjoy the sessions? Yes. Did you enjoy the convo with him? Yes. I wish we could continue, but Charlie, the time. So I know some of you have questions, so he'll be ready to take your questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand and I'll come to you.
Okay, that's two people.
All right, thank you very much. So in your speech, I was expecting you to talk about AI hallucination, because you're talking about AI, the positive aspect, but you didn't talk about AI hallucination, which really affects students. So, AI models are built on data, and sometimes to AI hallucinate. But you're talking, we should use AI, but I didn't talk about that one, which some students end up taking the wrong information from AI. So I don't know what you say about it, but please, the AI hallucination, try and talk about it a lot, because I'm talking from experience, because I have knowledge about AI, so I know what I'm talking about. With the AI hallucination, students end up taking wrong data, then they think, oh, I'm going to pass the exams, but no. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that question. So very shortly, I'll just talk about it. So like you said, AI hallucination, that's when the AI manufactures an answer for you. Okay, you ask a certain question and then it picks some wonky explanation and then it puts it there. And then probably you as a student, you just do what? You go and copy and then you paste it there and they tell you that what is wrong. But it's the same way. Like I said, getting to the end of my session, what I said was that it's a tool. Okay, it's a tool. So in as much as AI gives you an answer, you need to do what? Verify. Verify the answer that you are being given. Don't just take it, copy and paste it. When you get an answer from ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever it is, verify the answer. Okay, because you cannot, and also at the same time, you cannot verify something you don't know. Okay, so if you just go there and then you just copy and paste something and put it in, it gives you an answer and you come and paste it there. Obviously, if it hallucinates, you are in trouble. Okay, so have an idea of what you are expecting to hear and then verify it. So if it gives you an answer, take that answer. You can also go online, take a look at it, and then you can even ask on Google. And someone who has actually worked with the thing before can also tell you that, oh yes, this is true, or no, this is even impossible. It can't happen. So always do what? Try to verify your answers, especially those who put numbers in ChatGPT. It hallucinates a lot with numbers. If you give it a certain equation, it can give you a very wrong answer. So always try to do your verification.
Please, my question is, why does those AI tools give wrong answers to such questions you guys are talking about?
Oh, why does it give wrong answers? Okay, so most AI models that we have been programmed to do what? To give answers regardless of the question that was asked. Okay, so even if you ask an AI tool a question and it does not know the answer, it was programmed in a way that's going to what? It's going to give you an answer. Whether the answer is correct or wrong, it has given you something. Okay, so it's not necessarily its fault. It's not like the people who programmed it wrote wrong answers or something, but they have just programmed it to do what? To give you an answer. So if your answer is not found in its data set, because the answers are found in a large data set, if it's not found there, it will just pick something that seems to make sense, and then what? and give it to you because it's supposed to give you what? An answer. It's like you, for example, you call someone during the exam, number 4. You expect an answer. If he says B and the answer is B, he was supposed to give you an answer. He has given you what? The answer. Ask whether the answer was correct or wrong. You were supposed to do what? To verify. Okay, so that's just why they seem to give wrong answers sometimes to some questions. Not all questions do, because they are programmed to give an answer every time a question is asked.
Sir, please, this is an interesting conversation we have right now, but you hardly spoke about your Jupe.
Oh, I think in the beginning I spoke about it too.
But
about remitting.
You did not, how shall I say it, expatiate on it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'll just give a quick summary on that. So,
more questions?
Yeah. Okay, so Jupe Money Transfer is a remittance organization. So by remittance, we are moving money overseas. Okay, so we are moving money from one location, maybe from one country to another country. So Jupe Money Transfer is able to move funds from the USA, UK, and Canada down to Ghana, Nigeria, and then some African countries, that we have. So it's all built on a certain platform or network. When it comes to you have a question?
Please, compared to bank transfers, let's say Echo Bank, Fidelity Bank, what makes your app different from them? Because you can, you're trying to transfer some money out of the country, and the tax they'll put on it sometimes is huge than the money. Let's say, for example, you're trying to send $8,000. They can put almost 10,000 CD tax on it. And how experience?
No, it's
And sometimes with the time duration, because it's a bank-to-bank transfer. Yours is an app to maybe a bank transfer. So how seamless is it compared to a bank transfer? What makes it unique from other bank transfers?
Bank transfers. Okay. Thank you very much. That's actually a very good question. So with Jupe, there are no fees, no charges. Everything is zero when you send money. Okay. When you send money, no fees, no charges. And in addition to that, once you send money, it's instant. The minute you press send, within the next minute, the person actually gets the alert in their bank. Okay, so like I said, it's built on a platform where everything is speed. Okay, like I was saying, if they come to ask you for school fees, and then your dad is in the UK, and he's supposed to send school fees, he can easily send it to the accountant's Momo number, or even bank account. Okay, here in Ghana, immediately he presses send. Okay, so that's what separates us from let me say traditional bank transfers and all those things. Okay, the fact that you can be in any of those countries and send money to any of the countries in Africa. Okay, Ghana, Nigeria, Central Africa, so that's what makes it unique. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? You can ask questions concerning what I do, what I actually do, the software engineering aspects, maybe about your career. Maybe you have questions concerning how do you find a path, a purpose when it comes to your career. That's why I'm here anyway. So, okay, I think someone asked a question. Yeah.
Yeah, so as you were talking about the career path, personally, I've been finding it difficult to like, one day I want to be a mechanical engineer, the next day I want to be a aerospace engineer, next day aeronautics, because like the interest is around the engineering. I don't want to end up choosing something like, yeah, it will help, but then I want to see what best helps, like someone who's, like I was saying, curious, innovation and things. Yeah, so what you talk about something like that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think the question that he asked, it applies to most of us here in trying to find a career path. Okay, the first thing, like I said, is something that you have to be curious about. Okay, so what exactly are you curious about? What do you ask yourself questions about how it works, why it works? Okay, what makes it work? What makes it tick? That's the first thing. The second thing is that once you find out that this is something that I ask a lot of whys about, it's something I'm passionate about. Is it something that I feel like I can spend a lot of days and nights doing what? Following that particular line. Okay, you have to find whether you're passionate about it. And then lastly, you also have to find out whether what you are looking at is something that may, especially when it comes to yours. You said mechanical, aerospace, aeronautics, and all those things. You realize that there may be a common denominator somewhere in there, okay, which centers around what? The electrical aspect and maybe the mechanical aspect. Okay. I mean, all falls under engineering though, but there's a common denominator. So you look at that particular common denominator, okay, and find out what is the extra thing in the others. Okay, because mechanical may be different from aerospace in terms of one or two things. It may be even different from autotronics. Okay, but they all have the same base. So what makes them different? So you look at what makes it different and you find out whether if that difference is something that I'm willing to go into. Okay, so maybe the difference for you for mechanical and then something like aerospace. Okay, maybe that's for aerospace engineering, you're looking more at what? Anything that moves in the air. Okay, from control towers to the planes themselves, to the jets, to the electronics on a plane itself. Okay, then look at mechanical. Mechanical covers everything. Okay, anything that has what? Newton's law of motion in it is covered under mechanics. Okay, so you look at it, so what's the difference? This particular difference, is this something that I'm willing to move into? Okay, but one thing that you should always remember is that if you attempt something that you eventually realize that this may not be for me, it's never too late to do what? To move into something that actually interests you. It's never ever too late. So if you go into aerospace and then you feel like, maybe I made a mistake. Okay, maybe mechanical is actually my calling because I enjoy this part of the aerospace rather than what? This part. You can always what? You can always what? Switch. So be curious, something that you're curious about, something that you're passionate about, and then find what? How do I say it? Find the base, and then find what makes what you are looking for different. Okay, like I said, in your case is what? Aerospace, mechanical, autotronics, something. Okay, what makes those things different? And then look at whether I want to go with that. So curiosity, and then what? The passion, and then what? Finding what makes what I'm looking for different or special. Yeah.
Thank you very much, William. I think we have to end the session, unfortunately.
Okay.
You can ask the question later, okay? You can see him behind closed doors and he will answer your question. Or should we take it?
Oh, yes. Okay. Let's take a last one.
William is very kind. We'll take you at the
My question is, if someone were to do what you are doing, what advice would you give the person to give the person, maybe like make the person better than his peers if he were to do what you are doing?
Okay, all right. So if you do what I'm doing, what will make you, like in his question, better than your peers, is that you have to care about what exactly you are doing. Okay, now when I say what exactly you are doing, in my case, what I care about is what my end users feel. Okay, that's what makes me good at what I do. I don't really care about am I good at remembering this particular function, this particular feature, am I fast at building it? But I care about what exactly my end user is going to receive from what I am doing. Okay, so if you're in my field, and this may even apply to any other field, but maybe mainly my field, care about what exactly the end user is going to get from what you are doing and not exactly what you are doing. Okay, so like I said, if for Jupe, when we're building it, okay, I cared about someone's grandma sitting somewhere and being able to receive funds instantly to cater for her needs, because I know the joy that it will bring to them. So I will build a system in such a way that it caters to what? To that need. So care about who you are doing it for. Okay.
Please give him a round of applause. He has done amazing work.
Okay. All right. So thank you.
I'm actually amazed at the number that turned out today. And unfortunately, I didn't bring a lot of goodies, but I have just 4 questions or 3 questions for those who can end what I'm holding. So my first question. When William was making his intro, he mentioned the school he attended and the course he did. So I need someone to give me that. The school he attended and the course he specialized in. William, I think you need to help me choose one person.
I'll choose one person.
Yes.
I think I've not really... Okay, this last but one. Or the last, yeah. No.
Please, he attended St. Peter's Senior High School and he offered science.
I think I should be specific. I mean tertiary. His tertiary education. He mentioned it and he mentioned the course he specialized in.
So the guy in the black sweater.
He went to KNUST and he offers computer engineering.
Is he right?
He's right.
My next question. I'm not a science person, but I was paying attention. So my next question. Wait, how do you know the answer to the question I was asking? So my next question is, which color has the highest wavelength? And you have to mention the wavelength. You have to mention the wavelength. The hands are down. Or at least an estimation. If you are closer to the answer, I'll give it to you.
This is red. And 620 to 650 to 720 nm.
I'm surprised. Okay. Which color has the lowest wavelength?
Red.
Madam, please, red.
Yeah, it's red.
So my answer says it's wrong. Let me consult the. So I asked him which color has the lowest wavelength, and he mentioned red. Is it correct?
No, it's blue.
Exactly. So it's wrong. Which color has the lowest?
Violet.
So I have violet and I have blue. So I don't know which. I have violet and I have blue as the lowest.
Well, Wait, you can ask another question because it's actually violet, but just for red and blue, I just use blue. So yeah, so you can ask another question.
Okay. My boss says I should change the question, so I'll change it. So he also, in his presentation, he said something about people who are likely to succeed. And the question is, which group of people are likely to succeed? He mentioned it.
People who ask a lot of questions and have a curious mind and think analytically.
Clap for him. I think I'll take it. My last question, then we are out of here. This one, I know all of you know it. So William will also help me choose the person that will answer this question. What is intelligence? What is intelligence? William mentioned it.
So the girl just stood up. Yeah.
Intelligence is knowledge and experience.
Give it up for him. Intelligence is knowledge and experience. That was what William said. So this is the end of the mentorship sessions for today. The STEM Festival is proudly sponsored by Truster AI, Jupe Money Transfer, GTP, and YFM. And of course, this is a Primetime production. Tomorrow will be our final episode, and I want all of you to be here by 3. We have a beautiful lady who is coming to do her presentation tomorrow, and it will also be our last day at St. Thomas Aquinas. It's Aquinas, right? Not Aquinas, like the way people say Aquinas. So tomorrow will be our last day here, and so far, I hope all the mentors who have come, you have gotten something to take home. And William will be around for a few minutes, so if you have extra questions, if you have something, if you need his contact as well, you can talk to him after. So have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow.